And on any.
All right, we're live on YouTube. You are duly warned.
So what does this still be?
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Ms. Ada is gonna stand up here and watch the meeting apparently. And, you got a better cushioned seat than that back here.
Where? I know y'all did, but I
I
don't.
think your alderman would have already taken care of that.
Hey, y'all wouldn't give me a nice seat, so I brought my own pillow. I hate that
That
pillow.
is awesome.
Hey, that's a-
Blanket we were in.
Hey, I'm the only senior citizen probably in here, and I should have a coffee with you.
Now, Craig's a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Oh, they older me?
You got
Older
Chief,
me?
I'm not old enough. You got Chief Henry back there.
Oh, you older me too, Mr.?
No, I've seen you.
Oh.
Anyway, call the meeting to order. All the aldermen are here. We do have Alderman
I'm
Fairfield,
83,
via
so
telephone.
you're older than
The
me.
legal per the Attorney General. We do have Melissa Martin, our
Okay.
city clerk, and our attorney, Rocky Eaton here. If Alderman Blake Nobles will lead us in the prayer and pledge.
Father God, thank you for another opportunity for us to gather together and serve your people in your name. I pray that you give us guidance and wisdom as we go through the night, and just let our eyes be set on you. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all may want to do something.
All right, is there a motion to accept the consent agenda number? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, is there a motion to adopt the agenda with the additions that are already included, I'm told? Motion second, all in favor? Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda, numbers 1 through 4? There's a second?
Discussion.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he's not here, but I got in trouble last year. Our privilege license report actually, A1 Graphics is on it this year. So I don't know how many years Craig's been in town, but hey, Craig, this is a shout out for you actually paying your permit, but also being in town for like 20 plus years.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been 11 years now, 16 years total in the city.
So I just want to shout out because that we take it for granted, but there's a lot of long-term people in that. The other thing, and Mayor, you talk about utility aging. That's our overdue accounts for sewer, water, and trash. And I know we're trying to huddle with the team here in a workshop to try to determine, because there's people, we go up about 9-10% every time we get this report. So we're up to almost $600,000 of due money to the city. And some of these are people that are paying or using sewer that we're subsidizing, we're paying their costs. That's in most of they're predominantly on Sunrise Water or Barrington Water. And I'd like for us to eventually get to the point where that's not subsidized for the rest of the taxpayers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a tough one, but yeah, we do need to have that conversation, at least on certain levels, because we also know we have a certain number of people that are on our sewer service, and we have always billed them, per our interpretation of state law. So, there's a couple different options we need to talk about, and then there's no perfect options, so this is, for this under is not perfect either, and I don't think that's tolerable for us, as well, so anyway. Got a motion, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any public comment? Nobody?
No, sir.
Ms. Ada, we'll get you afterwards.
I'm not gonna say it, done.
Wait a second, there's 20-something things on here, we'll find something.
Oh, we'll see what I got to say about that.
I'm gonna make a special note here, no proclamations, resolution, bids or quotes, we do have old business. Number 5, request to accept a bid on infield turf at Robert E. Russell Sports Complex per Shal Dearman and Wake's recommendation. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for all 4 fields.
Is there a second?
Discussion.
Okay.
I'd like to add the amendment, mod 3. the $330,000. The reason that is, we talked to the experts, that actually is probably the biggest bang for our bucks when we do that. Because what that is the baselines, that actually helps drain the entire field of complex. Speaking of some of the, and ironically, our engineer is doing this is actually a pretty savvy baseball guy, but we talked to this. And Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the golf court districts and a couple of there, they have, we're talking mod 3 is actually just extending the baseline or the baseline all the way through the outfield. So that turns that into basically a 6-foot path of artificial zoo. That would prevent one mowing that, lining it, so there's human savings costs for the life of the field, and there's tremendous bigger benefits actually the drainage from the infields and the outfields by having those all the way up there. So I know it's a cost.
It's additive to in replacement of.
No, it's the whole thing. It's where it adds. That's where.
I don't have that in front of me. Can you tell me the bottom what that?
Well, I think
changes?
the original contract was just for 2 fields, and then we doubled it up for the second fields, and then I think mod 1 was to do on all 4 fields, do the baselines all the way out.
Yeah.
And line those.
The difference in 3 is what you're, so what's the difference price wise?
Like additional $330,000, and Mayor, I don't know where we stand in our total budget, but
I think now that's like, I'm seeing 367.
360, yeah, the add-on to the base. And the reason I say it's just from the indicators I've gotten from the professionals, and we bumped this because we were trying to figure out the numbers of costs. And I tell you, talking to engineers, it's like talking to engineers. We love to hide the numbers, and one of the things is that we're paying for the full mobilization up front. The $100,000, we're paying for all up front, whether they stay for 2 fields, 4 fields, or do the whole length. And so, because our issue is like, well, hey, we're paying more rock for different contracts. Well, future contracts, I'd recommend we break mobilization into based on the actual task and mobilization. We can do that and actually give a clear picture. But that being said, is they're basically the best unit around. They do all the fields here in the southeast area, Alabama, Louisiana here. But based on Wesley and Josh, correct me wrong,
I get my stuff from them as well.
Yeah. But for the infield line, it is another $300,000 cost. But if we're going to do it, it's almost you do it right. And to me, the issue was the drainage of the fields. Because we're not doing the outfield, that's still going to be mowed grass. But the problem is, when that's still wet and damp, we have issues. But not as much as the infields. But the baseline going all the way down helps not only reduce our costs, but we never have to line it again. We never have to mow that again. So that is there demanding equipment costs is the way now the question is that worth $300,000 over the lifetime of that place. But and I just found this out this afternoon. I'm trying to figure out, do we have the funding to support that additional plus up? That's a big ask.
Currently, the math I've got, we don't. It was fairly tight on the other number, which is around 1.261, I think, is the number. So the 367 definitely would be a lot higher. We currently, as we stand right now, don't have that one.
John, you or Ryan, say anything?
He is exactly correct. It would be almost doubling the amount of drainage you could get off of it to include the outfield too. But he is correct on that. But like he said, it's the funds is where we're at right now.
I'll also chime in on that and say that your life expectancy on that additional turf in the foul territories like that will be at least double of what you're looking at on the infield. So
Doesn't get as much wear and tear.
yeah, most of the time on the infield stuff, you're going to get wear and tear around the base paths. So you cut out a 10 by 10 section, throw a new one down, and you're not spending $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a field or whatever it is to replace an entire infield, and that will go for that foul territory as well. Because you don't really see a lot of traffic in those areas.
The original motion is for 4 fields.
I'll do that.
If you do that, I'm gonna be calling y'all, and we're gonna be going to, what's the Cadence Bank? We'll be heading to the bank. It's base bid.
Greg, what you think?
And all you need to do.
I'm always hesitant to spend money that we don't have.
Greg Bullitt.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm not really able to hear very well what's going on.
That's by design. No, we're talking about the differences between the base bid, which was 2 fields, add alternate one was adding the other two fields. So if you went base bid alternate one, you've got all four fields. And then the sideline project was alternate number two. And that runs you about another $367,000. I know I'm gonna sound like one of the engineers. That's not including engineering fees.
So the small.
If we say all three, what does that do for our budgeting this year?
Money's like not there.
Can you remind me what the mobilization cost was? I know it's on here.
5,000, wasn't it?
That's 100,000, I think 102,000. But that's the project. I mean, you're not gonna change those numbers, just because that's the engineer way. Really, it's the impact and effect we wanna have. I mean, that's also up to me, that might be the platinum standard, maybe we're fine with just a silver or a bronze. Like I said, or platinum might be the wrong way, because we're not doing the whole field. It's just talking to, field managers and actually even Wesley, the engineer, like, this would be the right price window, be on, price not being on, but again,
The right thing.
yeah, but yeah, I don't, and maybe you say we don't have it, I don't know. I trust it now, I just don't know where that involves our next budget. We count what we have
I
in
think
Saturday's
we're
budget.
basically using cash that we have to disperse around $3.1 million off the top of my head, I'm holding to it. $3.1 million in projects. I'm trying to think of what was it, soccer fields was 640, this would be, splash pad was 400 something, there's $1 million. Here's another 1.2 million, now we're over 2. There was something else that we did. I wonder for some reason, I think that was the number. Yeah, soccer fields, splash pads, at, the new entrance. We're like kicking about $500,000 on that. And they are working on the splash pad right now, by the way.
That's in the division.
They're walking out pretty good on it. So, yeah, whatever the will of the board is.
We know the money's gonna be coming in with the 30%.
We're pretty effective at, spending some of it before we got it, but, those numbers have been coming in good.
Steve, what's your motion?
This will probably come in when it's all,
Sideline.
when this
Just
is
like I
all,
said, it's gonna last
this is gonna be a $2
a
million.
lot longer than
Be a $2 million project when they get through. 1.6, you throw in the engineering fees for another couple $100,000. So. I'm trying to think of what. I thought we had 3.1, we may have 2.6.
Guys, have you had any, feedback from any of the other, like, teams coming in that hiring directors, anything?
Yes, after talking, he might be able to talk more about that, but, yes, sir, we're talking about booking up almost every weekend. Once we have the turf, now, if we don't have turf, they're going somewhere that does.
I knew that was the case.
I'm just gonna say that I just don't like spending money that we don't have, but I played a lot of baseball. The problem we have is that we're not gonna make the money off hotels. Hattiesburg will make a lot of money. We'll get the extra 3 cents and a little bit of sales tax on the 7 cents side.
It'd be eating a lot more.
But will it offset $367,000?
Now, are y'all talking weekend ball?
No, we're talking tournament ball when they come in and
I mean,
play.
tournament ball goes to the PSA, the PSA.
No, I'm talking about the money they spend.
Oh, yeah, they spend money now.
Because everybody was talking about the hotels and all, we don't have a hotel.
I mean, that's what
Yeah,
they
good, good one there.
So I've actually never played baseball before. I've never watched a baseball game. I don't understand it at all. To me, it's completely a different language. I struggle with sports. I'm working on it.
You got boys.
But I know that my community does want these turf ball fields. I've had some constituents come and tell me that. But at the same time, if they want more than that, it's improved drainage. And I have a problem with upgrading our ball fields before we do our neighborhoods. It's a lot of money.
different ones.
It's a lot of money.
I've been with the will of the board, I just want my opinion heard.
Let's go, got a motion, Steve's motion was initially for 4 fields,
Well, he changed his motion to be
to do everything.
the whole thing, the whole picture.
All right, is there a second, in line with what
I did Drew's a second.
Drew, is a second, any more comment on any of this? It's getting now, I mean, that's a lot of money. This is the kind of stuff we're gonna have heartburn when we talk with Doug. I think we'll have that meeting Monday night, by the way. This is how this stuff goes really quick. But whatever you guys want.
If we didn't do it this time,
I only say that because I don't have a vote either way, so it doesn't matter.
if we
Whatever
didn't,
they want, whether I like it or not.
if we didn't do it this time, when would it be done, or would it be done?
Never, on the plan.
Because you're already mobilized. That's why, maybe, they're there. That's,
If
Kinda-
we do it now, or we get that,
What benefit is adding the, I mean, I know,
you better drainage on the field.
Honestly, it's just, it's a plus.
Yeah.
It's not a gotta have.
Yeah.
Any of this is better than where we're at now. You can understand that.
I was gonna say, I know that we're gonna do the 4 fields at the very least.
At the very least, it's $1.6 million.
I was wondering if we were gonna do the 4 fields, now we're putting together. So, yeah, we can do whatever, I mean,
No, we can't do whatever, we gotta do what
we can, I've seen boards.
Yeah.
Mess money up all the time.
Yeah.
Part of our heritage as elected officials, isn't it? And that was the previous number that I had, I'm just trying to figure them off the top of my head.
Sure would
We
be
had
nice.
some cash coming into this thing, and we were basically gonna borrow the money from ourselves, and that's how we were gonna make some of these projects happen. From that standpoint. So anything we do will be better than what we've got now, for sure. Got a motion, you got a second, anything else? Greg, you got anything?
I'm still trying to follow as good as I can.
Craig's under the weather, folks.
All right, so we're talking about the motion on the floor is to do the 4 fields plus the
Sideline.
sidelines. And then that's gonna be an extra,
367, 368. As Rick would say, without engineering fees.
right? Well, I'm 100% for doing it right the first time. But when you say we don't have the money, for that, what money do we currently have at the moment?
We got $1 million, I think, sitting in the capital outlay fund.
Well, let's just say we've got $1 million in the capital outlay fund right now. There's 30% of your money's over there to move.
I'm sure he's gonna bring in a little extra.
Let's just move over to make that 4 fields
Yeah,
happen.
we can do cash.
when do we have to do the entrance? When's the cash due from the entrance?
He's doing some of that stuff, but that'd be part of that $1 million too.
Yeah, we had said that million was gonna be $500,000 for the access road, $500,000.
And that was a guesstimated number. And then we moved the interest money over to the $1 million. Now we're a little closer to getting 1.3, but how you pay John, then. Most of the time, it's work done on this project.
So we paid the majority of the engineering. fee.
A good bit of it is boots on the ground. Now, obviously, they'll have to walk them through the process to make sure everything's like it's supposed to be. So,
I wanna do it right, I don't want it in my pockets. I don't.
Do we have any unobligated money in any other accounts that besides sewer and water?
Our main thing that we want are the 4 infields at least. I would love to have the outfield, the sidelines. If it's a make it or break for that, I would at least want the 4 infields. Like he said, it is the sidelines will make it drain better, a whole lot better. But they're like Kitchell was saying, there's not very much use on the left and right sides, other than helping the drains. The outfields themselves already drain real good. So if it's a make it or break it on that, we do want at least the infield.
I know, we're doing all four. It's just that we're just trying to scrape up
Yeah.
2 nickels and a dime without, breaking the bank.
That's 3 nickels.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm waiting for this, that one right there, to stop looking at numbers.
We still have our reserve, right? Yeah, we can roll against and pay back.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an
Well,
option.
Doug is gonna
Temporary.
advise you against
Oh, I
that.
I agree, I know that'll take us to the horse wagon and be.
Doug wants that to be for a disaster. So hurricane blows through, we have,
Next week.
Hey, Mayor,
Hey, yeah.
is Ryan Abear or Josh there?
Yeah,
both of them.
Mr. President, you need to talk
Are
to
there, other fields, other facilities, are there the ones that are turf, are the sidelines typically turf?
That's McGee does it, McGee just has the infield.
The complexes that have just infield
Golf
turf
course.
is just infield. The ones that are
Golf course
full,
has all, it's either infield.
golf course
or
full, the outfield and infield are turf.
There's a few complexes that do have the Powell
Just the
territories
sideline.
turf, but it's not as many.
Few of
as-
them. Most.
Generally, it's
of them
one
are
or the other.
either Just infield or the whole thing. Is what they're saying.
Right now.
So there are some that are out there that don't have the sidelines turf, that they don't
Correct.
have the.
Yeah, like
Most of
McGee just has the infield. Yeah. I mean, I don't think tonight, there's not a wrong vote. Because I would wait a couple of weeks before I told you we need to go to the bank and then we have no money.
figure it
Right.
out next week.
Well, speaking from experience in some of those tournaments in the league, okay, if there's severe rain, are there any significant delays or problems? Because
Does McGee hold up pretty good?
Any
McGee
fields
holds
are gonna have turf on the infield, with a thunderstorm or a downpour, 30 minutes after you playing ball again.
And you really do that down in Gulfport with the whole field.
That's right, you'll do it here with turf on the infield. The outfield is not a problem. You can play ball with a wet outfield, it's gonna drain, our outfield drain on cover.
Dirt that messes you.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, he said that's not a big issue up there.
not having the sidelines.
Yeah, not having the sidelines up there is, and then obviously somebody like Gulfport's even better because the whole field's like that. I mean, it comes to Billy Washington or Gulfport, and they're playing in 20 minutes, ain't they?
Right.
That'd be neat to see.
So you say you will do the whole field?
I second that.
No,
Somebody let Doug know.
Hey, that's somebody's getting ready to leave us to go, what, sick
Yeah,
of
I think I might be listening to him.
Forest County's fixing to make a huge donation.
Yes. Make this happen. Anyway, whatever you guys think.
Y'all want to do that, y'all want to change back on regional relations? What's that gonna do?
My main problem is up here, the economy.
Yeah, I don't spend the money.
I think we're really, investing a lot in our facility by turfing the full field. It's never come across my radar once, really, to even consider the sidelines. Would it help? Would it be beneficial? Would it, engineering speaking, would it be the best thing to do in the long run? Maybe so, but at the price tag, I just don't know that it's worth it for us to do that.
Let
This is my call.
me just withdraw my motion on that, and I'll just go back to my original motion then. Just do
That
it.
sound good?
Main field with alternate ones,
Yeah.
so that's all 4 fields.
Yep.
No sidelines.
I'll second that.
With the desire that if the opportunity comes along, that we would come back and do that. And I think that would be a good thing. Of course, I guess if we come in and did that sidelines, heck, we might just do the whole thing.
Correct.
I mean, if we-
Correct.
I just want to confirm, on the infield, it is all the way to the fence, like, right, on the infield side?
Yeah, that's my.
It's not just the inside the
Yeah,
base.
yeah,
Dugout.
You just don't want the coaches to get muddy and wet.
No.
I see, yeah, that's cool.
I was a catcher, I appreciate it.
Yes. Take care of the coach.
Dig it through the mud to get the ball.
Awesome. Okay, so we got a motion, got a second to do, base bid and additive alternate number 1.
Aye.
All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed?
I guess that took us down that hospital hole for a little while, didn't it?
That's good, I mean, that's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
That is a desire.
Done some of the past.
Someone needs to win the lottery and donate.
you said that?
Do we have any idea when this may start?
Yesterday.
2026.
So,
I think, I'll have a conversation with our engineer tomorrow. They have trouble, obviously, with the wet during the, of course, it may never rain again.
Yeah,
So
that's not a problem right now.
By September 1, we should have it done. But they're gonna work around you guys, so you guys will be a part of that conversation.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, to know if we needed to start making arrangements to
Because
move.
they have to dig, they got, you know, well, y'all know, they gotta dig a lot,
Yeah,
lot of
they gotta-
dirt out, and everything, but I appreciate the board looking into that. This is kind of a new step for us.
That might be that field we can use in other places. We need to coordinate with John. And that engineer, that firm's got a lot of work ahead of them too. So, I mean, that'll factor in when we work in their timeline because they're pretty hot commodity.
Right.
So, yeah. We build up some, Josh, you need more field of dirt someplace down there, do a hill? King of the Hill playground.
Want to build one of
Okay.
those.
Hey, you come
animals.
with
elevation in my yard. If he don't need it, I gotta
Well,
get
yeah,
it.
it's dirt. All right, we're moving on. All right.
Not to spend the $400,000.
Now, y'all think that was a lot of money, check this out. Okay, as we go through this, I should say, not this next one. Number 6, the motion requesting, the resignation of Casey Mullen in the fire department, effective August 22nd, is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Or 7, request to pay estimate 2 in the amount of $155,162.55 to J. Beardy Construction for water upgrades on West 7, Pedal Drive, Highland Drive, and Garden Lane for South Dearman Waits.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Request to pay estimate in the amount of $144,154.40 to Warren Haven for the 2022 street open, we should call that the 2023 overlay, but anyway, overlay for South Dearman Waits.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, request to accept a supplemental agreement with CV Developers for Dawson Cutoff Sewer Replacement per SDW. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's some paperwork we're doing because as we announced a week or so ago, we were able to double our money with what they're calling is the MCWI, and that sounds like, I mean, it stands for something. But it was something that Delbert Hoseman, Lieutenant Governor Hoseman had come up with, that if we submitted appropriate plans, we could double our ARPA money. So we went from 2.6 to 5.2. We haven't gotten any of that money, and I will give kudos to Melissa Martin and John Weeks, who have brought over glass to get us to this point, but we're just trying to get paperwork right so we can get our money and continue on with some of the projects that we're doing. But anyway, number 10, request to send one Tahoe with that listed VIN number to Jeff Martin Auction and authorize city clerk to execute auction agreement.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 11, request to adjust services billed to the following due to leaks, 411 Bryant Street, water 885, penalty 75, late fees 204, 29 Burns Crest Loop 930, late fees 170 and 40 cents, and then 302 Margaret Avenue, water 315, late fees $66.
Did they sign the, that's my neighbor.
My question is, that's not your address, is it? Steve?
No, not 408.
Okay. Is there a motion? I'll take that as a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Steve, make sure they sign their form. We can take that over.
I'll
We're
Yeah.
gonna take that over in January to make sure Melissa's got the paperwork right.
I'll give it a shot.
Thank you, Blake.
Yeah.
Put us on our toes.
Number 12.
Don't want your
Request to
legacy.
set a hearing date for September 26, 2023, 6 p.m. for the following properties, 103 and 105 Bird Avenue. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 13, request to ratify emergency action and authorize the city clerk to pay invoice 23011-9448 in the amount of $16,344.86 to Greg Crawford for repairs of manhole 50 per Shaw's Dearman Waits.
Motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
That was the manhole down on Old Richmond Road.
Is that one down here?
It was sinking a little
No,
bit,
that's
so
one by-
we just replaced the whole thing as opposed to having to spray the liner on the one on Old Richmond. Just trying to be a little proactive and catch some of these things before they catch us up. But anyway. No 14, request to authorize the installation of septic tanks at new homes to be built on Little John Drive due to the distance from city water. Motion? City sewer? City sewer, I'm sorry. We got a motion, is there a second?
Discussion on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and actually, I was trying to figure out where, I mean, I sent a note asking where the sewer lines were. Can we resolve where those are?
They're
We got a guy here.
behind, they're not on Little John, aren't everything
He's right
behind
here.
the houses there?
Everything's behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, everything behind.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's behind, they'd actually have to get easements from other property owners on
Yeah,
top
it's like,
of.
you got Little John that goes down, and you got a row of houses here, it's actually behind and runs between them houses over here, so they'd have to get easements to get the sewer over there to it.
So are we doing this?
Eventually that sewer line that goes behind the houses intersects that road, not Little John, but intersects the north-south road, right?
Yeah, when it comes out, it goes back towards the highway.
Yeah, so right there, it takes a dog leg. So right there is a point where you wouldn't have, if the city provided line or, that's a point where you would not have to have a easement from a private citizen, because it'll still be on city land.
Right, and I don't think anybody's gonna give up easements to run sewer across their property.
No, but we have, and that's what I'm looking at map wise, I mean, there was actually a city line. Yeah, I know, sort of, this is your motion, right?
Yes, sir.
Bill? Yeah, there's other lots back there, right? There's 2 more lots potential?
Behind, Little John,
Yeah, no, to the right of those lots.
I think I'm the only property right
Yeah.
there.
He's the only one down there.
Yeah, I think I'm the property there.
So you building all the houses in there,
Yes, sir.
down in the gully?
Yes, sir.
See, the problem with that is, everything's gotta be on grinder pump.
Right.
Everything's gotta force uphill,
Right.
and that's an expensive cost as it is, and the city would have to run new sewer lines and all that kind of stuff.
What are the grinding pumps running now?
Just bought one, about $1,700 a piece.
And
Well, that would not be on the behalf of the city, though, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That'd be the homeowners.
Yeah. 7,800, that's actually a 1.5 horsepower, that's not.
No,
I just bought our church's ones, I know what they cost.
right, and the thing about it is it all depends on the elevation of the property, whether you gotta have a bigger pump
To get up the north.
to have more head pressure to go up.
Yeah. And the reason I'm just discussing this, because I always dislike having septics, inside the city limits that close. And I know, but we annexed that area, and those lines were laid before the city annexed it, so now they're kind of, that road on the backside is kind of left hanging.
Right.
There's no really way to get have a city line that goes around the corner. And it's not, if there was another 5 houses, or, if there's more land behind it, but we're not, you're gonna have septic systems and city people that's right next to each other.
And truth be told, that nobody probably ever thought that anybody ever built there. Because it is kind of down in the gully.
And it's nothing to the back of me as well. So it's like, it's no roads, no access. It's just woods to the back.
Yeah.
So it won't be nobody building.
Well, that's actually another property, somebody else, it's outside the city limits, but somebody else owns that property behind you.
But I don't even think they'll be able to build anything the way it's set up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think no one's gonna be able to build anything there.
If this is approved, what type of septic system are you gonna have there?
That'll be up to the state. They have the health department have to come out.
Yeah, you don't even know, you haven't even tested the land or
You're gonna do a
anything.
perk
You
yet?
just did.
Well, I can't, I didn't want to go through
Yeah.
the process of getting the perk until I.
Oh, to deny him, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, one of the things I'd ask, to move forward is, like I said, bottom line of the ordinance is within 100 feet, so that really actually protects you, because we try to be business friendly in that regard, but, when you get a chance, because you might have options for the state, they say, hey, you can put a spray, you can put, that's not to me, that's not ideal to have a spray system that close to, that part of the city. So hopefully they'll allow you to do the terrain and the rock and the composition of the soil will allow you to do vary. So,
Right.
because I don't think that'll come back to us, will it? But that decision, I mean, if they give an option to either one, because spray is cheaper than bury.
I think the bearing is cheaper than the spray.
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
And usually typical like that, nothing would fall back on the city because it's privately owned at that point in time.
Well, no, it does fall back on the city in the sense of constituents, and I've had people that live to the left, to your side and across the street that smell stuff. That's part of the, that's kind of like, we're not in the countryside, we're not in the county,
Right.
where you have plenty of land, where you can build something and this odor goes away. You're basically, hop, skip away from other residents. So,
It'd be state regulated at that point in time,
not the odor.
for the spray field.
I guess that's all my discussion. Just like I said, 'cause that's my ward. I've had some feedback from people across the street.
You got a couple of spray systems in Castle Manor, I think. I know one for sure.
Like that, people are fighting to get into Ward 5, duly noted.
We just had to lose people through our census, and now you're building more up. So that's good. Okay, that satisfies. Like I said, I was hoping we had a real easy way to connect you and not have to go through private property. And if it costs the city a little to add you to our system, that minimizes the cost to that owner long term. It probably reduces the cost of the home itself. But other than that, I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 15, request to pay estimate 2 in the amount
Thank y'all for
of
your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
$8,434.60 to Brady Crawford Construction for Eastover Sewer for shallow dairy and waste.
Motion.
You needed to do that.
Yeah.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
Hey, how
All
many,
in favor?
how many more is, how much we got left on that is?
Yeah, that's
Only
one of your
estimate
projects.
too.
That's actually a project out in the county
Okay.
that we're messing with Steve about. He's already getting stuff done in the county. How do you like that? Here we go. Spend some more money. Let's pay the estimate 3 in the amount of $244,268.65 to CD Developers for Dawson Cutoff Sewer replacement.
Are we done?
No.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I noticed the sewer is expensive.
It is, and we were waiting for some of that paperwork before that action took place right there. I wanted to say we had,
Where are we
we
not
still owe them $400,000. I think there's some fencing they need to do.
Down there on the lower side of the dog
So,
park.
for some reason, I'll talk to John
Hey,
about
Craig,
it.
that's been a thorn in your side, hasn't
Oh, and she's saying 80,000, for some reason I thought 400.
After this.
He completely paid now, got that, didn't
That'll wrap up, more projects for the next 3 years.
No.
Note of that, Ward. What
you
you
get
get,
when you go-
Oh, we got a
What you
motion,
get when you
all in
go-
favor?
Aye.
Number 17, request to pay estimate 1, in the amount of $44,144.60 to Holiday Construction for Sherry Lynn. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's the culvert that blew out on Sherry Lynn, coming up on about 11 months ago. So glad that.
That's estimate.
We actually, that is an instance where we did go in and are fixing it right. We went back to concrete where it was actually a metal culvert that had torn up, and they put an extender on it and kind of tied it off, and then it just finally. Don't get me wrong, I mean, we didn't have any money when they did the repair, and it lasted several years, so, and, good to have that done, so. We voted on that, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, number 18, request to accept proposal from principal for employee dental and vision insurance. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 19, request to renew employee health insurance with the United Healthcare 4-tier option at a cost of $620.98 monthly per employee.
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor? I remember when that was like 200 or something.
And we had the $500
That's a while ago.
Good old days.
And that's the amount the city pays for the employee.
Actually, $40 less.
What, the 40. So that's why city employees, we take care of our team.
Number 20, request to accept proposal from principal for employee group life / AD&D at a rate of $69.60 annually per employee. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's actually automatically for everybody, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a benefit for working with the city. Seminars and travel, 21, request to authorize the following in the fire department. Will Lewis Task Force Training in Meridian, that's August 21st to the 24th. There you go, chief. No call. And Will Lewis and TJ Burkhalter, Mississippi Task Force Training in Meridian, September 10th through the 15th. No calls.
Second.
Motion and second.
So Mike.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good job. We'll put you over that department, chief. Number 22, request to authorize Richard Steele and, here we go. And Brett Chenault in the fire department to attend a tech class at State Fire Academy, the 25th and the 26th, total cost $160. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Well, you broke your streak, chief. Uh-oh, I shouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
Number 23, request from Mayor Ducker to attend the MML Board of Directors Fall Meeting in Oxford on September 21st through the 22nd. Total cost $164.81.
You had to beat it about $4.
Yeah, that's right. That's gonna stop it. You get a biscuit on the way. Is there a motion?
There's a motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Josh, I will need to steal your vehicle for that day.
Yes, sir.
Orders and ordinances, request to adopt an order promoting Lee Gilliland to Lieutenant Training Officer, 80 hours at a rate of $19 and 7,120 per hour, effective August 22nd. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Keith? Good?
All good.
Okay. All right,
Before we adjourn, if I might, I think everyone knows what I was gonna ask about. I'm trying to schedule for a community representative to come and speak with the board. I have spoke with them a couple of times. I've spoken with a number of people in the room. Getting everyone in the same place at the same time seems like an important part of the process. And I would request just the blessing of the board, not an official action, but the blessing of the board to have an invitation sent out for them to come and speak to us at the beginning of the meeting. I don't expect it to be an all-night, anything like that. It's gonna be pretty.
you're talking about like in September?
I was a big in September, but,
You said beginning of the meeting.
let's see,
Budget meeting will be.
yeah, that will be
Monday, 6
September, yeah.
o'clock.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I would have to call and, schedule this for the 5th or the 19th, but, what I'm saying is like, can I go ahead and start that process? And I think they would end with.
See you when they're available.
Yeah, and then I would call you and say, can I get this on the agenda and, proceed forward,
I would suggest you do it on out a little bit because public hearings,
Yes.
things that have already been scheduled for the beginning of.
Okay, and I'll coordinate with you on that too before I call them. But I don't want to do anything without the consensus and blessing of the board. I think that this is going to be a good thing for our board and for our city.
Any comment? Good? Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Easiest thing we talk about the whole night. In mayor's report, obviously, we're in budget season, so we're going through that process. A lot of good news, but always a lot of decisions. I think the will of the board is obviously we want to take care of our people and right size each department. At the same time, we do feel an obligation, and I believe there is buy-in from the department heads that understand when we do say no, it's because we know we have infrastructure needs and things of that nature. So kind of a weird situation. I feel the residents and the people, which we are residents and people, feel like we want to take care of the employees that work for us. especially in particular the first responders, police and fire. At the same time, they want their road paved. Not too much to ask. Obviously, we do want to factor in the potential for a setback in the economy, but the numbers are good. Understanding they're good in this vein, if we make an extra 10,000 a month in sales tax, I mean, that's fantastic. It's better than losing it, but that's $120,000 a year. Our insurance could come in at $250,000 out of whack. Paving a road has went from $100,000 to $150,000 per mile. So we have a lot of challenges, and that's why sometimes I'm glad I don't have a vote. So I do appreciate the folks up here that do make those calls. They're not always shooting for perfection, but direction. Anyway, I appreciate that. Appreciate the people that are here. I don't think we have anything in.
Mayor, can I just say a couple of comments? First of all, look out and see our in-house visitors or citizens tonight. It's good to see all of you here. Have a growing number of those each week. But I also wanted to bring this to the board's attention. I saw last night that there is a group in this area. It was on the local TV news. That there's a group in this area that's beginning to meet, and they're going to continue to meet, related to the numbers of stray animals. And that's not just in Petal, but this group they met in Hattiesburg, but they were talking about the entire region of how people who own pets are not being responsible to keep their pets in their yards. And they're allowing their pets to just roam wherever. And sometimes the pets never reappear at their owners' homes, and there's no identification on the pets as to whom they belong. We have of course, for the Petal Police Department, we have an animal control officer who stays extremely busy. And sometimes he gets calls from citizens who don't understand that he can't just take every dog. We don't have, the kennels are full. Basically, they said we don't have room. But he can't just take a dog because it's a stray dog. Where's he gonna put it? That's the kind of thing that we're dealing with. So I'm hoping the board, all of us will stay in tune to what's going to be happening in the area related to that discussion. Plus, I would like for us to seriously consider looking at the fines in our ordinances related to owning a pet, registering a pet. And that's what they were talking about at the meeting last night. That everyone who has a pet must register the pet. If that pet gets out, we've got some ordinances that deal with that. And I believe, I was told that our city, we've issued some 2 to 3 fines the last few months. If we make it known to our people out there, if we make it known that we're about to come down hard on the enforcement of this code, of the ordinance, and making people pay the fines, or if we up the fines, or whatever we need to do something, because dogs are roaming everywhere. Why? Because people are not being responsible. They're not taking responsibility for their pets and for their dogs. And if I own a dog, I need to be the person responsible for making sure that dog is on my property, not just roaming wherever it wants to be and maybe coming back to eat every once in a while at my house. So I would ask the board for us to give it some individual thoughts of what we can do as a board to, number one, make sure our ordinances are being followed by the people, and even perhaps maybe if we need to increase the fines, but for sure enforce the ordinances that are there. And if we need to make some new ordinances to address the issue needs to be addressed. It really does.
Absolutely.
And I will add, the frustration on our side is there are people that we've literally written 4 and 5 tickets and have spent thousands of dollars paying the ticket instead of just fixing their fence. So it makes no sense, but a lot of it doesn't Lots of stuff we deal with doesn't matter, like, come on, just do this, and then you won't have to do that. And
It sounds like we found a way to turn ignorance into tax money.
I mean, it is,
That's wrong.
it is that. It's very frustrating though. And
Rich.
you'd love to see some stuff on the state level, from a spay and neuter standpoint as well. We do have some opportunities to support New Hope. I should have some information from Southern Pines later this week. It'll probably just be just that information, on the cost of doing some things differently. So that's probably where we'll end up being at. But anyway, it does turn out we do need a quick executive session.
I agree with him on them
So
dogs.
go ahead.
We got cats. I got cats and dogs roaming in my house and I don't even know who they is. They just roam around.
Yeah, but you're good feed
I don't have dogs and I don't have cats and I don't want none. I don't like it.
I have a question.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
Do you all have an active, neighborhood, watch program?
We actually.
Throughout the city, do we have that?
If we can get your information, I probably can connect you with some people that would help. We don't as a collective, but certain areas can set one up.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah,
know
I mean,
that.
you touched the.
When you mentioned about the safety of keeping that
Yeah, the folks at
city
the police
safe.
department.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, I think everybody up here has heard the, I hate to bother you, and it's like, no.
Yeah,
I mean, the residents are our eyes and ears out there. We can't be everywhere.
okay,
So, we depend on folks calling us.
okay,
And
You're not
let us know what's
bothering
going
us.
on.
When you call any of us, you're not bothering.
okay.
Yeah, very genuinely, it's not just that you're not bothering us. Oftentimes,
I am my
people
brother's
get angry
keeper.
at us and they won't let us know anything. And it'll pop up on Facebook or something like that. We'd so much rather people call us and be like, hey, this is something that I noticed. It's not bother, it's an accident.
All right, is there a motion to see the need for an executive session? Motion. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Are y'all,
Oh, I'm sorry.
where y'all located in the city? Yeah, y'all,
With 7th Avenue.
okay. Because I know, out there behind us, Petal School District, Petal High School and Cromwell Gardens, they're talking about standing up a neighborhood watch.
Yeah,
And
that could be good.
there's some of the, a couple organizations come out. Yeah, that's